Hello YouTube, this is Tattooed Alex on a beautiful, chilly Sunday morning, October the 29th. Just out for a short ride today. It's supposed to be 68 a little bit later on. I think it's about 49 right now. But the sun's out, so it's actually not that bad. So one of the things I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about today was buying a new motorcycle versus buying a used motorcycle. Maybe some advantages and disadvantages of both. Now, most of my experiences has been on buying new motorcycles. The Softail is my 5th motorcycle in about 17 years, and my first 4 were all new, and this is the only motorcycle that I did buy used. So I think I have a little bit of information I can provide on that, and these obviously are my own personal opinion on these. So one thing I always liked about buying new is that I was the only one that ever rode the motorcycle, and my riding style and different people and the way they ride. I mean, especially within the first 500 miles where you're supposed to keep it, I believe, under 65. First 100, I believe, was under 50 or 55, and then I believe up to 500, they said I need to keep it under 65. So, not sure how many people really follow that rule, and I always tried. I mean, that's one way I really started finding some of these back roads I've been riding a lot that I enjoy was, the first 100 miles wasn't bad, just kind of keeping it around town where the speed limit's typically anywhere from 30 to 45, but got a little bit harder when I got out on some of these roads where the speed limit was 55, and you can go about 60 and still keep it under 65. So that's one thing that when I rode it, I always know I was making sure I was under those speed limits. When you buy a used motorcycle, you have no idea if someone maintained that or what they did or the way they rode it. Also, obviously, when you buy a new motorcycle, you have the extended warranty on it that you don't have now. Even with the purchase of this, I was offered an extended warranty on it. So you still have the ability. Now that all, I guess, depends probably how many miles are on the motorcycle, but you do have the ability to buy an extended warranty on it. On my 48, I just had the standard 3 years. I didn't buy the extended, which I'm glad I didn't because I ended up trading it in. But yeah, I'd say that's an advantage, is obviously having the warranty on it, ability to get the extended warranty if you're going to keep the motorcycle for an extended period of time. There's also something kind of the emotional side of it. It's pretty cool buying something and you're the only one. Obviously, aside from test riding, the dealers have to test ride them and see what they're like. I mean, my 48 had 4 miles on it when I bought it, so yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool getting in there and having low mileage on that. But those are definitely advantages of knowing the way you ride and no one else rode it. Now, obviously, you do have a higher price on it versus buying a used model, where you can pick up a used model, and I mean, my thing is, on a used model, it's got to have low mileage, decent mileage. This had 6,400 miles on it, and it's a 2013, so I mean, they roughly put about 1,600 miles a year on it, which isn't very much, considering I had my 48 for about a year and a half, and I had just under 5,100 miles on it. So that's actually pretty low mileage compared to what I had on my 48, and probably compared to what some of you guys have, especially where you live in those warmer climates where you can pretty much ride year-round. I mean, Colorado has its nice days. I mean, today it's supposed to be 68. Tomorrow it's supposed to be in the mid-30s and snow. So we definitely have some interesting weather out here, and I'll definitely be able to ride it a couple times before the spring again. But yeah, those will definitely be probably few and far between, but I'll definitely still try and get out there on it. But so when you're buying a used motorcycle, you obviously can look at a little bit cheaper, and also look for different things that, when you buy a new motorcycle, chances are you're going to probably put an exhaust on it. I think I had mine for about 6 months. before I put the exhaust on there, and I think before that I swapped out the seat, I put the sissy bar on. So when you're buying a used motorcycle, if you have the opportunity to buy a motorcycle, it already has some of the things that you're looking to put on your motorcycle. I mean, save you a little bit of money, obviously. I mean, an exhaust will cost anywhere from $700 to $1,000. I mean, you know, exhaust can get definitely pretty expensive depending what you do. I mean, heck, even with mine, the only thing I had was the Sundowner Solo seat was, I believe, about $250 to $260. The sissy bar was, with the sissy bar, then you have to buy the hardware separate, was pretty close to $300. And my exhaust was about, I think, just about $700, and that was installed as well. So, I mean, right there, you're looking at about $1,200, $1,300 in extras that I had in my bike, and that wasn't very much at all. But yeah, those are things as someone goes, especially now. It's funny, I even saw they just changed the dealer that I traded in and bought it. Just changed their profile pic to my motorcycle as one of the first ones in there. So I thought that was kind of funny. I showed my wife last night. But someone can go and get a pretty decent deal on it, especially what they're selling it for with those extras on it already. I mean, it's a great deal. Same with this when I saw it. You know, it's like, hey, it was a great price, used motorcycle, low mileage, had bags on it, which I believe I priced out, and because they're the Harley bags, at about $800. And the exhaust, which is, we'll just say, about $700. So right there, I got about $1,500 in extras. Now, one thing that doesn't make sense to me sometimes when you're buying a used motorcycle, because I mean, when I was debating on buying used, I was looking online a lot, and I was seeing these kind of crazy prices where it'd be like a motorcycle that was only about like a 2015 or so, probably about 2015. And they might have like maybe just the exhaust, and that was it. And they were selling it for about $1,000 or $1,500 cheaper than a new motorcycle. And honestly, to me, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know, I mean, granted, some of those, the mileage was pretty low, but still, I mean, you know, even look at the exhaust, and we'll say, you know, between $700 and $1,000. So if that motorcycle is $1,500 cheaper, with that exhaust, you're looking about $2,200 cheaper, which to me, I'd like a little bit more savings in that buying, you know, if I'm buying a used versus new motorcycle. So, I mean, if it's got a bunch of extras, you know, I can understand. But, I mean, sometimes I saw just about stock motorcycles look stock to me, and, you know, selling for about $1,000, $1,500 cheaper. To me, that doesn't make any sense. Now, granted, I know you got some wiggle room in there, but still, stuff like, you know, when I saw bikes like that priced slightly cheaper than new, to me, at that point, I'm probably just going to buy it, you know, buy new, depending what extras it has, like the exhaust or bags, sissy bar, things like that. But overall, I'm definitely very happy with my purchase and buying used. I mean, I definitely think, you know, you got to look around and see. I mean, save me a couple grand. I mean, this was, I mean, if I look at between the exhaust and the bags, I would have had to have spent close to about, heck, probably about, I think a brand new Softail is about just under $16,000. You start adding all your dealer prep and everything, plus the exhaust and the bags, this bike would have probably cost me probably close to $18,000. Yeah, and that's not something I was really willing to drop on a new motorcycle. Not at this time. You know, my wife doesn't ride. I only ride, and so sometimes I feel kind of guilty spending a whole lot of money in it. And she's definitely very supportive. Loves that I enjoy motorcycle riding and getting out there, but I still do have a little bit of guilt, you know, if I'm going to go out and spend drop 18 grand on a motorcycle like that. So I'm definitely happy with this, and I was able to get it considerably cheaper. Very, very happy with it. But yeah, so I mean, my opinion is, hey, if you're going to, you know, definitely consider buying used, especially for your first motorcycle and looking into getting into a Harley, you know, maybe the one you want, look for a used model. You might be able to find something a little bit cheaper. You never know. You know, start doing the math and looking at all the extras you're going to add. Now, I said before, the bags on here, I wasn't necessarily looking for bags, but I do like that they're on there. You know, it's like, hey, I enjoy having them. It's nice having something to put my stuff aside from a backpack. I had a sissy bar on the 48, so I just used to strap my backpack to that. But it's kind of nice just putting stuff in the saddlebags. I do plan on putting a sissy bar on here eventually, sometime before the summer. But so yeah, so my opinion is definitely look around and see what you can get for your money. I mean, obviously there's advantages of buying new, but there's also advantages of buying used, you know, and you got to get into something that works best for you. And I always say, you know, my opinion, when you go in and you're shopping for motorcycles, it's hard, but you got to take the emotional side out of it. You see something you really like and you're hoping to take it home, and you just got to maintain some sense about you and go in there with a specified number in mind of what you're willing to spend. But you also have to be reasonable as well. I mean, you know, Harley's a business, just like anything else. You're a consumer. You want the best price and they want the best amount of money, so you have to be able to meet somewhere in the middle. So, and shop around. Hey, if one dealer doesn't work for you, shop at other dealers. But if you guys if you got any comments or like to, you know, leave a comment about your experiences of buying new or used, or what you prefer, definitely feel free to leave a comment. If you liked the video, give me a like and subscribe. It's Tattooed Alex. Thanks for watching.